Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Spartan Sports Report. I'm Yusuf Anaya.
And I'm Ben Shockley. Yusuf, what an amazing week it was to be in East Lansing. We had the Spartan football kickoff and 80-degree weather all week long. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Man, Ben, you took the words right out of my mouth. If you weren't in East Lansing last week, then you truly missed out on an awesome week, especially now that snow's falling again.
Yeah, that's just typical Michigan, Yusuf. But on the positive side of things, let's start off at the Woodshed with the football team hosting their annual spring game.
That's right, Ben. The MSU football kickoff was held last Saturday, and our own Zach Beavers was on the scene.
It's springtime in East Lansing, and it doesn't usually look like this. It was a little over 80 degrees here in Spartan Stadium as fans and players filed in for the MSU football kickoff. The spring game event, that was really just a practice and a review, as Mel Tucker said. The fans were sitting in the shade and out in the sun alike to catch their football team one final time for the end of the semester. Now, the big question heading into the spring, of course, is the quarterback position. And Mel Tucker said that the competition will be ongoing into the fall. We'll see who takes the reins. As of right now, it looks like it'll be Peyton Thorne leading the way with Noah Kim as his backup. One of the players that impressed Mel Tucker was Jared Mangum, running back who transferred over here. He actually played for Mel Tucker back when he was a freshman at Colorado. Mel Tucker likes the way he hits the hole with velocity. He's a very big back and he's a very powerful runner. And we're likely to see him try to bulldoze some guys up in the fall when the season starts up again. Wide receiver core is deep, as it was last season. This time with the starters Keon Coleman, Montori Foster Jr., and Trey Mosley. They also have a little bit of help backing them up. Terrell Henry made a couple very nice plays, and Antonio Gates Jr. also had a couple nice catches here in the spring game. They impressed a lot of folks, and we might see them a lot come the fall. On the other side of the football, defensively, Mel Tucker said that there's going to be a lot of versatility from the guys at all positions on defense. There were linebackers going up and doing some pass rushing drills, and we had a couple secondary guys going kind of flying all over the field, working on a bunch of different things. Hopefully the defense will be shored up a little bit from last season, and Mel Tucker hopes that this team continues to show the intensity that they showed today and in the spring practices as we carry over into the regular season. The punt return competition is still a question mark, but it looks as if Terrell Henry and Montori Foster will get the main reps as punt returners to replace Jaden Reed, who was the explosive punt returner last season and the season before. Kicking is also a question mark. Mel Tucker said there's still competition there. Overall, this practice was just a review of what they're working on in the spring. So we'll see what happens in the summer as they try to get into the fall and get the season started again. For Spartan Sports Report, I'm Zach Beavers.
Thanks, Zach, for that awesome report.
Michigan State women's tennis fell to the number 7 Ohio State Buckeyes at the MSU Outdoor Tennis Center on Friday evening. The Spartans would clinch the doubles point with a thrilling match on court 1. Aish Khan and Lisa Vevlainen earned their 10th victory as a pair this season, defeating the Buckeyes 7-5. The doubles point would be MSU's last in the 4-1 loss to the Buckeyes. The team finished the regular season with a bang on Sunday afternoon, beating Penn State on Senior Day 4-3. The Spartans would clinch the doubles point on court 3 as Dasha Żerbecka and Juliet Nask remained undefeated as a pair this spring, beating Penn State 7-5. In singles, Żerbecka was honored for Senior Day as she won at the number 6 slot after battling in a first set tiebreaker. Lisa Vevlainen had a comeback win to clinch the match, defeating her opponent 6-3. Our SSR reporter Renee Aldana asked Żerbecka and Coach Bruno what it meant to win on Senior Day.
After a while, I'm kind of repeating myself sometimes because you just want to, get back to the plan, get after it, and keep fighting. And the girls did that today. I'm so proud of them, especially on Senior Day. It just feels good. And Dasha got to come out and get a huge win for us.
We're definitely still going to be practicing, hopefully outside. I'm hoping that the matches are going to be outside. So definitely a lot of practices, some recovery, eat well, and just enjoy the last few days that I have with the team.
Michigan State will head to Indiana to participate in the Big Ten tournament beginning on April 26.
Men's tennis went undefeated this weekend, starting off with a win against Purdue last Friday, 5-2. Michigan State now stands at 10-11 and 3-4 in the Big Ten. MSU started off hot in their doubles match, with the number 1 and number 3 teams taking the first 2 points. The singles group followed suit as freshman David Say and sophomore Josh Portnoy gave MSU an early 4-0 lead early on. Freshman Ozan Barris then secured the win for Michigan State on court 1, winning his matches 6-3 and 7-5. The Spartans will play their final 2 matches of the regular season at home this weekend.
Michigan State baseball swept their home series this past weekend against Western Illinois, winning in comeback fashion in Game 1 with 2 Mercy Rule wins to close it out. The Spartans reached double digits in all 3 games, including a come-from-behind 10-9 win on Friday night. Nick Powers started the final game of the series for MSU, pitching 7 2/3 innings while limiting the Leathernecks to only 3 hits and 1 run. Michigan State's Brian Brecker and Jack Frank were recognized for their stellar play this past week, with Frank being named the Big Ten Player of the Week and Brecker named to the National Player of the Week list. The Spartans look to stay hot against Purdue Fort Wayne on Wednesday, with first pitch scheduled for 6:05 p.m. in East Lansing.
On Friday evening, Michigan State softball hosted Minnesota at Sekia Stadium. The Spartans were coming into Friday on a 5-game losing streak and were looking to snap it against Minnesota. The Golden Gophers were dancing early and the fun was just beginning for them. First for the Spartans, here's Kendall Cates sending one at center field and off the second base umpire for a single. Then we have Britton Bashirs finally getting the Spartans on the board in the 3rd inning with an RBI single to right that scored Anna Fox. The game was dominated by the Gophers, though as back in the 2nd inning, Kayla Chavez singles to center, scoring a run. Later in the game, it was Natalie Den Hartog cranking this one out to center field to put the Gophers up 8. She would later knock another into the river in the top of the 7th. Those 2 home runs would move her into 2nd all-time in the Big Ten for career homers. The Gophers would tack on a few more runs to make the final score 13-1. Spartans played a doubleheader against Minnesota on Saturday and split those games. MSU won the 2nd game of the doubleheader by walking it off. The final score of that game was 3-2. The Spartans will travel down to Ann Arbor on Tuesday as they'll take on Michigan at 6 p.m.
The Spartan track team spent the weekend in California, spread across multiple different meets. At the Mount Sac Invitational, Heath Baldwin was tied for top marks with a high jump of 2.07 meters, followed by personal bests in hurdles, discus, and javelin. Baldwin set a new school record for points for the 4th time this year. Trevor Stevenson followed up a 2nd consecutive record-breaking weekend, breaking the pole vault record that he set last weekend at the Spartan Invitational, with a new score of 5.55 meters. Joshua DeVries and Valadin Pallett competed in the Beach Invitational, where both set personal bests. DeVries recorded a 62.52 meter hammer throw, and Pallett earned runner-up honors in women's discus with a throw of over 48 meters. The Spartans will head to Bloomington for the Indiana Invitational on April 21st and 22nd.
The Michigan State women's golf came out firing on all cylinders in their last invitational of the year. The Spartans participated in the Lady Buckeye Invitational on Friday and Saturday this past weekend. After the first round concluded, MSU found themselves in 2nd place with a team score of 565. That strong play would continue in the 2nd round as the Spartans took home 2nd place with a final score of 863. Michigan State ended the weekend with 4 women in the top 20 with 2-day scores ranging from 141 to 144. The Spartans will be traveling to Pittsburgh to tee off in the Big Ten Championship this weekend. That's all the time we have today for this edition of Spartan Sports Report. Make sure to check out our Instagram page and our TikTok page and watch any of our previous episodes on our YouTube channel. I'm Yusuf Anaya.
And I'm Ben Shockley. Thanks for watching.